Hey guys, John here again from the YouTube Info Hut channel. Today's tutorial is on how to replace a MacBook Pro front glass. Pretty much the most common situation is for the front glass of a MacBook Pro to be cracked with the LCD still working underneath. So all you need to do is obviously change the front glass. You can order these front glasses anywhere. I've got a link below on where you can purchase them. They're very cheap and pretty much you can get them worldwide. So here's an example of what it looks like. We're going to simply take the old one off, and put the other one back on. Now, the first step is the required tools. You can actually use household items with this repair, but obviously, what I've got are a few tools that I do use for my repairs. The first one is a heat gun. Now, this heat gun can be purchased once again from the link below, or you can even use a hairdryer as an alternative. A separating tool or a small blade to get in between the frame and the actual front glass. Some people actually even use credit cards, guitar picks, different types of stuff. So whatever you feel comfortable with, you can use, or you can purchase it with your screen. Now, pretty much before we start, I'll just say that you do need to be a bit patient with this, as taking it off is probably the hard part and putting it back on is the actual easy part. So first things first, what we need to do is take this front glass off. To take the front glass off, you just need to get your heat gun or blow dryer, put it on low, and go around the side like this. So we're just going on the outside of the glass frame where there's a black band. You'll see there's like the border of it. Now what we're doing is, the heat's going to help the adhesive in between the glass and the rear, housing or lid to unstick a lot easier. So what we're trying to do is just simply loosen it up. It takes a while. You need to be a bit patient, but the more cautious you are, the better it is, because you're not going to risk burning the LCD or even warping the frame behind it, because if the frame gets a bit warped, then pretty much it's very hard to put that front glass on flush. So we're going to start from the top and work our way down. Now, by all means, you guys can fast forward through this part. This does take a while. It can take up to 5-10 minutes. So there we go. It's a bit hot. We'll see how it goes. It'll be a bit of trial and error. I'll just get a temperature reader on here. And that's at around 49 degrees. You wouldn't want it 49 degrees Celsius. Fahrenheit, I'm not too sure what that is, but you wouldn't want it to go any further than, say, about 55 degrees, as it can kind of affect the LCD. So I'm trying not to get in the way of the camera, but there we go. As you can see, that's slowly coming off now. What you need to always remember is keep applying heat with this. Especially if you're in a colder climate, keep applying heat. Just remember, there's no race to do this. It's a very simple task, and you just see, there we go, a bit's broken off there. You don't want to keep doing that too much, because I'll just show you something why. Because it can actually affect the LCD below. So I'm just going in between the glass and the frame like this. There we go. Very simple. The tool I'm using is an iSesamo tool. They're about $10. You can get them off Amazon and eBay. Okay. Unfortunately, this screen is very smashed. Most of the times people will just have like a small crack down the middle. MacBooks tend to break like that. This one is really smashed at the top. If yours is the same and it's really smashed, you just have to expect that there's going to be glass shards. So I do recommend wearing some safety glasses or glasses to stop, shards of glass getting in your eye, because you obviously don't want, There we go. And as you can see, the actual tool here, I'll try and get out of the glare. The tool here is in between the actual LCD and the glass. So we continue. And we keep going across. And bits of glass will come off eventually. Most MacBook Pros are the same as well, guys, so be aware that this covers, various models. And once again, keep reapplying heat. We can work our way from the top down or the top across, whatever you prefer. I tend to do both because once you go both ways, it gives it a bit more leverage to lift up. So, just going to make sure I'm in the camera. Okay. Remember, every 2 inches or so you go across, reapply heat. Can be a bit of a annoying little task, but it's just something you have to do. You've got to be safe and make sure that you don't break the LCD. Even then it wasn't too hot. The temperature in this room is about 16 degrees Celsius. So things are tending to cool down very quick once you heat them up. So anything from about under 20 degrees, it does get like that. It's nothing you can really do about it. You can try and constantly keep the heat on it, but that's hard when you've got to try and take the screen off. You've got to get a friend to actually hold the heat gun from a distance, not at a burning temperature, to keep the temperature up. So I'm going to keep going across here, guys, and then I'll do an update once I'm across to the other side. I'm just going to slowly keep doing that process. I'm not going to, keep the video recording now, because it is pretty much the same of what I'm doing. So, we'll go to the next part, and then I'll show you what to do. Hey guys, so now you can see that I've gone across the top. Unfortunately for me, because there's a lot of cracks in the front glass, lots of pieces, were breaking apart. But I mean, it is pretty pretty standard just to pull the pieces off and keep continuing until you pretty much get the majority of the top frame part off. Now, as I said, I really can't stress enough, use safety goggles when you do this. Bits of glass do go everywhere. And also, try to use gloves that don't hinder your restrictiveness of lifting it off. I don't personally use them, but for safety precautions, I always do recommend people be more safe. So now what I'm going to do is continue down the left hand side. Just remember at the top here, when you're taking the glass off, there's a little cable for the camera. I mean, by all means, if you do break that cable, it's no issue. You can buy a webcam. They're not expensive, but the thing is that it'll just save you a bit of time, a bit of headache if you just sort of go around the top here. So I'm going to continue. I'll go on this side because I'm kind of in the way of the camera if I go on that other side. So you just keep on heating. Once again, I think this is going to break up because I've got a lot of cracks on this side, which is not an issue. It just takes a bit longer to do. I mean, you'll see a lot of tutorial videos on YouTube. Most of these guys are actually just using screens that aren't even cracked. I mean, a screen that's not even cracked can easily come off. It's a bit more time consuming when you're doing one that is cracked, because you just don't know what more it could crack when you're actually taking it off. So I shouldn't be saying screen, I should be saying front glass, because that's all this is, okay? It's a front glass. Okay. And as you can see, this is occurring again, and you just got to keep applying heat and going all the way down. Try and somehow wing this with not having it crack. See, as you can see, once the heat gets there, it's a lot easier to take off. It's all about the heat, guys. It really is. But not too much. It's better to underheat it than overheat it. And there we go. That's making my life a lot easier doing it that way. We're getting there on this side. It wasn't that bad. You get lucky, as you can see now. I'm starting to lift this off, which is a lot better. You get a lot if you're able to put your fingers underneath. Now I'm going to try and do this without getting in the way of the camera. Now what you can do is put the bit of heat on the other side, And sometimes you might be lucky for it to lift off a bit. Okay, so now we get the tool here, and with a bit of, you know, pressure with your hands lifting the glass, it can slowly come off. And unfortunately, it's not going to happen because there's a big crack in the middle that's taking the brunt of it, so we don't want to pull that too much. So we're just going to have to do that method I showed you on the other side, which is just going up and down while pushing down on this. And I'm going to try and hopefully do this without getting in your way. Okay, so now we're going to see how that goes. Don't want to put too much heat. Now we're at the bottom. So we've got to continue with the whole heating process. Heating and lifting, this is what you'll be doing a lot of. So keep, as you can see, you won't be able to get under there like that, but you just can push like that. Exactly how I'm doing there. And then we go to the other side. I hope you guys can see, yeah, you can see. Oops. Okay, so just the same process. If it gets a bit cold, you're going to get fingerprints on the LCD, nothing you can do about it, don't worry about that. Or marks, should I say, or adhesive stuck to the LCD. You just got to clean it when it comes off. And there we go, it's all off. And now, the next step. Okay, so we've got that screen off. Put it away in a safe place, because once again, it's got broken glass most likely. Okay, now, we've got an issue here with, you know, I've put like marks from my fingers on the LCD. That's not an issue. We can get, you know, a bit of like window cleaner and take it off at the end. Now the issue is that you can still see bits of glass, and you probably can't see in this video, but you're going to see adhesive stuck to the actual back frame, and you're probably thinking, how do we get that off? Well, that's not too hard. I found a pretty good method, and it's taken me a while to find this method, but it works the best. So first we just take off the shards of glass. Okay, we get tweezers or something, we can take off the little black adhesive that is stuck here. See that? That comes off pretty easy. Now, when buying the actual replacement, also make sure that it has adhesive on the back. Okay, so if it doesn't, then you're going to have a bit of an issue. So most of them do, but you know, always check. It says on the listing in Amazon or eBay or wherever you purchase it from, it says with adhesive. Okay, as I said, I've got a link below, so go through that link and then it'll show you the listings on Amazon.com. And you can choose a seller. There's plenty of sellers, you know, selling these parts. Okay, and they can get them out to you within a few days. Also buy the tools, it won't hurt, they're always handy to have around home and they only cost a few dollars. Okay. So now that's off. We still have a bit of adhesive here. So now it's still, how should I say, it's a bit sticky. Okay, so I've got some rubbing alcohol, and I just need to get my cotton ball. And I get rubbing alcohol with cotton balls. Okay, and these are the cotton balls that I use, and the rubbing alcohol I've just got, you know, standard isopropyl, methylated spirits, they're all the same really. The surface is metal, so, or aluminium I think, so on most of them, so you don't have to worry too much. And you just slowly, now don't put too much, you don't want it to rub against the actual LCD. You just rub it slowly like this. It's probably another 10 to 15 minutes to do this. But it really leaves a smooth surface for when the new adhesive comes on. I've seen in a few other videos that people don't do that, and it's just a bit dodgy. I mean, it doesn't hurt to just clean it up a bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. But you just don't want it lifting up. It's a bit annoying if it does that, but then you're going to have to do the whole process again. By all means, if you be aware that, you know, the alcohol that you do use can be flammable, so please be careful. Sorry, that was my phone. Now, and just keep on moving down. Okay, I'm going to stop the video now, and once I've done all that, I'll show you the next step. Okay. Okay, guys. So now I've just wiped all that adhesive off, and I've wiped the screen. You'll see there's little like dust stuff and particles and whatnot. So you can never get it perfect. But saying that, when the actual MacBook's on, you're not going to notice any of this. I mean, so don't worry if you see like little smudges. I mean, as long as they're hardly noticeable. If they're very noticeable, then wipe them off. The bits of dust, try and get them off as much as you can. You're never going to be able to get it perfect. You know, this is not coming back from the factory. It's a DIY repair. So, you know, just check, especially the corners, because the corners tend to get the fingerprints and stuff. Okay, now, whoopsies, and that's my error there. Put a bit of water on there. Okay, so once that's sorted, you can do two things. You can put your screen on with the adhesive and then leave it there. Or two, you can put a bit of extra adhesive. Okay, but the first thing is that you need to notice that there's going to be a part that goes around the camera. Now you take this off your old screen, it just peels off. Okay, now, and you can put it on your new screen, but I found a workaround that's a bit easier. Okay, and what I do is I get a bit of gel, like super glue gel, not the quick setting stuff, the stuff that takes a while. Then I put a few dollops on this part here, this bracket for the webcam. Okay, so you put it, there's an end that has the pointy bits. This is on the other side. Okay, so you do it like that. I think I put a bit too much actually, so let's just wipe a bit of it off. Don't put too much. And then you get with a pair of tweezers, you put that on there, over the webcam, and let it sit in there. Okay, Let it sit like that. Sorry, my bad. Like that. I don't know what I was thinking then. Had a bit of a brain lapse. And let it sit like that. Okay. Now what you can also do is put a bit of adhesive on the back so it sits in there nicely. Just going to get a piece of wood. This is just, I'll tell you the reason why I'm doing it this way, because if you don't get the lining right on the actual screen, then it's gonna get in the way of the webcam and stuff. So doing it this way may seem a bit unorthodox, but it actually is the best way, believe it or not. So you just put the glue across there. Now, what I also like to do is this. I like to put dollops of glue around the outside. Okay, you don't have to do it around the outside. You can do it around the outside of the frame, which is a lot easier. So, as stated, you just get a bit of glue. I'll just clean that. And you just work your way around. You dot the glue around the outside of the frame. Use gel like Tarzan grip or something along those lines. Don't use super glue. Use a gel type glue that when it does set, it's rock hard. Tarzan grip is worldwide renowned and very reliable. Okay. Okay, now once you put that glue in, make sure you don't get any on the on the surface of elsewhere. Then this is the easy part. Dust the screen one last time. So just check for dust. Make sure you're in a room where there's not too much wind or breeze. And there we go, I just stuffed up then, didn't I? I put some stains on the actual... I'm just going to check I've got no... Okay, now, then we just sit the new screen in, and I've got it upside down. Surprise, surprise. Oops. And we can't just set it in straight away because there's going to be, on the inside of film, that we need to take off. Sorry, I just had to dust it, guys, and I'm going to actually lift this up a bit. I can see it's a bit of a stain. person that actually, the person that actually gave me this screen, they put fingerprints on the inside. So now I have to try and, you know, wipe off any fingerprints I see to make sure that they can't be seen underneath. Okay. Alright, this is the iPhone 5, is it? Yeah. Okay, come in. That's fine, that's fine.
Yeah, okay,
So that's it?
Yeah.
Pretty standard.
Still lights off and everything behind.
No worries. Give me about 15, 20.
Yeah.